Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your TNA Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1850, ladies and gentlemen. And finally got a chance to watch TNA. On the last episode, I showed you guys this. It was really, really cool. I know eBay's like an online flea market to me. That's for sure. Now, for the things, this TNA was a little bit special because it's a Thanksgiving special, and the way, and so Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywalt, formerly known as Tom Phillips and Aiden English over in the WWE, decided to host the show, and they decided to bring us never before seen matches of this year, 2024, which I thought would be a really cool thing to a really cool thing to see. So I thought it'd be great. And the first matchup was a trios matchup, a 6-man tag, if you want to get technical with it. It's the Systems, JDC, Moose, and Eddie Edwards, accompanied by Alicia Edwards, to go up against the team of the Digital Media and International Heavyweight Champion, PCO, Sami Callihan, and Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry addresses the crowd before the matchup, poking fun at the Systems and all. And this was a heck of a matchup, to say the least. And Joe Hendry's team, along with PCO and Sami Callihan, wins the matchup. And I thought it was really cool. Joe Hendry gave props to both PCO and Sami Callihan. And so, the next matchup on the card, former TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordan Grace took on the powerhouse of Spitfire, that would be Danny Luna. Jody Threat, her partner, joined on commentary. This was a heck of a matchup between two powerhouse ladies. And, Jordan Grace had a heck of a year. She was an entry into the WWE Royal Rumble earlier this year. She was my number 5 pick, which was crazy. I did not expect Jordan Grace to even be anywhere in the WWE, but it was a kind of a shock moment. I'm like, so I thought that was pretty insane. She's been all over the place. The NXT TNA Talent Exchange, a talent working, double talent working together, which I thought was super cool. And this was a heck of a matchup between both ladies, but in the end, Jordan Grace did defeat Danny Luna with a Grace Driver. And Jody Threat says, "Guys, thanks for having me on commentary. I'm going to check out my partner." Tom Hannafin understood. And so that was the case. So, and they decided there was a four-way Fatal 4-Way Thanksgiving Poker Night Tournament going on. One half of the Cool Hands, Jason Hotch, along with John Schuyler and Zaya Brookside, and Sami Callihan and PCO participating. And PCO won that Thanksgiving Poker Night with, with a royal flush. And he goes, "No, you can't cheat. PCO never cheated." And he's patting, he's patting PCO, grabs the card. He would never cheat. And I think he's just doing it just to screw around with a good hand, which I think is hilarious. And Santino Marella goes, okay, stop it. I'm going to make a match next week. It'll be PCO and Sami Callihan versus the Good Hands. And then they're arguing, we're going to kick your butt, and all that, right? And Zaya Brookside's like, no, wait, I've lost everything. And then John Schuyler, he said, well, sweetheart, nobody cares about you. Very, very mean. So Zaya Brookside grabs a pie, plop right into his face. I was like, that's what you get, John Skyler. You disrespected the lady. You don't do that. Desire Brookside. You don't do that to Zaya Brookside. Never disrespect Zaya Brookside. And then there's a triple threat match of Mustafa Ali, the former X Division champion, versus Britain's two of their best, Trent Seven and Leon Slater. And Mustafa Ali, after Leon Slater hits Seven with his move, and ends up pinning Trent Seven to win the matchup with the win the matchup, obviously, and everybody's still booing on Mustafa Ali. Another matchup. Ever since the alliance between Jake Something and Hammerstone, that's two guys you need to look out for in singles and in tag team competition. I think Hammerstone and Jake Something as a team could end up being a threat to the tag team titles, which are held by the Hardys at this time. So, Speedball Mike Bailey went up against Jake Something. This was a heck of a matchup. Bailey held his own, but Hammerstone got involved during the matchup, throwing off Mike Bailey, and Jake Something took advantage of the situation, and Jake Something ended up pinning Mike Bailey to win the matchup. But then, and then there was another tag team matchup. Rhino, who was at this time the new TNA Hall of Famer, teamed up with the prestigious one, Joe Hendry, went up against First Class's Casey Navarro and AJ Francis. And Joe Hendry says, I've heard that AJ Francis went to the HR department for TNA and heard that I was mean on the mic. So I can't force you. I can't have you guys say AJ sucks and everybody's saying AJ sucks. And then they say, and I can't have everybody saying gore, 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 gore. And I can't have everybody chanting we believe in there, we believe. Reverse psychology, right? And then the match happened, and there was one part where Casey Navarro was trying to do the Carlton dance. And he goes, and then John Hannafin looks at Matthew Ray. Well, that makes sense because Joe Hendry called AJ Francis Uncle Phil, which I think was hilarious. Like, yeah, if Casey Navarro does the Carlton dance and AJ Francis Uncle Phil, they should have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song as their theme entrance music. Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I just like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how that comes to Fresh Prince of a town called Bel-Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, from the playground where I spent most of my days chilling out, maxing out some b-ball outside school. When a couple of guys were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom and guys said, "You move your auntie and uncle to Bel Air." I'm just trying to fill up time here, folks. Don't worry. I got my all-time favorite Fresh Prince episode was when they were hanging out with William Shatner. That was. And they got hopped up a goofy gas at the dentist, and they all went totally nuts. And but they had some lots of tense moments and touchable moments as well. When Will's biological father came in and promised him the moon, and he said, well, plans change, I'm going to go again. And Will's not very happy about that. So you know how that went. But in the matchup, Joe Hendry and Rhino. Hendry's second match won. And that was really... So Hendry won 2 matches in this matchup. Most of these matches are just everywhere, Are like all over the year, that's for sure. Well, there was a casket match. Battle of the Big Men once again. Moose, who is yet to be X Division champion at the time, went up against PCO in a casket match. And... you know how the casket match works. We've seen it in the WWE, where you stuff your opponent inside the casket, but you beat up your opponent to the point where they're incapacitated, where they're knocked out, or you just put them in the casket and close the lid. There's no disqualifications, no countouts, no pinch outs, no submissions. So that means Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers got involved during the matchup, and then Joe Hendry decided to help PCO out when he was about to be tossed in the casket, but then... as he was celebrating, Alicia Edwards low blows him, and then PCO saw that he was about to choke slam Alicia Edwards, but then Moose went to go Moose was about to go distract PCO by spearing him, but he ended up spearing Alicia Edwards instead. And PCO did his PCO assault, took advantage of it, stuffed Moose in the casket. 1, 2, 3. The match is over, and Moose ends up winning the matchup. In the main event matchup, Gia Miller decided to join Tom Hennepin on commentary. Nick Nemeth goes against Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan high fives Gia Miller, and he goes, and then Tom Hennepin goes, and he goes, "No, not you." Hey, what is up, Sammy? Well, it was a good thing. I don't know where that hand's been. Anybody got any hand sanitizer and all that? So Nick Nemeth against Sami Callihan in a non-title matchup. Nick Nemeth ends up winning the matchup. It was a great matchup. Indeed. So, that is all for the TNA Event Center of November 28, 2024. That was yesterday, Thanksgiving special, and the final TNA before Turning Point tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is today. You know what I mean. Anyways, speaking of tomorrow, AEW Collision and Rampage. Now, Rampage will not be on tonight because of, the post-Thanksgiving shows and all that good stuff. It'll be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Collision will be open at 4, so we have... So Collision's a 2-hour. So we're talking about a 3-hour edition of AEW tomorrow to deal with. Plus, we got Survivor Series. So this is going to be an insane thing. Got to cover... At least I'm covering Survivor Series and Rampage for the first hour. Or at least for 1 hour. And then I cover Survivor Series for the rest of the show. So that is all the time we have. Next up, some Bullseye. So thank you for tuning into the show. And I will see you guys later. Be blessed, everybody. Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.